Okay. Everybody can see my screen. Just can somebody confirm?
Yes, Dheeraj.
Great. So here is a question we're going to attempt now. Before going into the question, I have a concept to discuss. The concept is something like this. Suppose we have the base price, the income, or the sales price, as the case may be. Any example you may take of 200. Here is the example, small example of 200. Tax on it is suppose 20. So the total price becomes 220. So 10% tax, as you can see from the face of it. So 200 is the base price or the transaction price, 20 is the tax, and your total price becomes 220. Now, if the information given to us is something like this, if the information says 220 is the final price and 10% is the rate of tax, can we calculate the base price from this two?
220 by 1.1.
Perfect. Did everybody get that calculation? That reciprocal calculation, something like that? Anybody having any doubts in that? Okay, perfect. So I mean, it's a very basic calculation mathematics. So here what we are doing is, if 200 is 100, 220 is 110. So this is another way of analyzing. So if 220 is 110, 100, in order to find 100, we just simply divide 1.1. So we can do x, y, we can put x also, that also we can do and calculate this. With the help of 100 also we can calculate this. So basically the information will be given as the total price will be given and the tax rate will be given. We have to calculate the base price. In order to do that, we simply do this 220 divided by 1 plus this rate. That's the formula. The final price divided by 1 plus the rate that is given to us. Now that becomes 200. Now why is it relevant? We'll come to the question, you will get to know. Let's quickly come back to the question if nobody has any questions. Okay, perfect. Now Miss Priyanka, a dealer in Maharashtra, agreed to supply 10 laptops. Please mark 10 laptops are there so that we do not make silly mistakes. To a dealer in Hubli in the month of September 2018 on the following terms. The terms are the price for each laptop. So there are 10 laptops. So they're talking about the price of each laptop inclusive of IGST at the rate of 18%, 30,000. So if 30,000 is inclusive of 18%, what will be the transaction price? What will be the taxable supply for the each laptop? Can somebody calculate and tell me? We have already done this in class, but better do it again so that at least the calculations are also revised. Anyone?
25423.72.
2543237 is the correct answer. Perfect. So we simply do 30,000 divided by, as I said, 30,000 divided by 1 plus the rate. So 1.18. 30,000 divided by 1 plus 1.18. If you do that, that comes to 25,423. That is for one laptop. If you multiply 10 with it, so that becomes for 10 laptops, which becomes 2,54,237. Any questions, please, on this? Okay, fair enough. Now we have packing for transportation of the laptop, 5,000. It is inclusive, it is includable in the taxable supply amount. Transport charges of laptop, 2,000. Again, it can be included. Commission paid to the agents can be included. Additional features charges can be included. Be careful of the each laptop. Only one item out of these 4 items you just read is per laptop. Other things are total amounts. The last one specifically mentioned additional features charges incurred by the seller on request of buyer for each laptop. For other items, it is not mentioned as each laptop, so you will take it as it is. You will not multiply 10 with it. Be careful about this. We'll make silly mistakes in the exam. So packing for transportation of the laptop is mentioned as 5,000. Per laptop is not mentioned. So we will take 5,000 as is. We will not multiply 10. But with 1,000, that is the additional feature charges, we'll multiply 10 and we'll carry on with it. Now, Priyanka dealer supplied following optional items along with the laptops. The first one is 10 pen drives supplied along with the laptops costing 500 rupees each, and a rate of GST applicable is 8%. So 10 pen drives are there. It is included in the price as we are, accumulating all the supplies together, supplying the laptop with the pen drives, with the keyboards, with the optical mouse. So everything will be clubbed together and a GST will be charged on a whole. Now 10 keyboards supplied along with the laptops costing 300 rupees each and rate of GST is 12%. 10 optical mouse supplied along with the laptop costing 250 each, rate of GST applicable is 12%. 5 printers supplied along with the laptop costing 6,000 each, a rate of GST applicable is 28%. Now, special discount of 2,000 rupees for each laptop is provided if advance of 2 lakhs is paid with the order. The buyer has paid the advance with the order. So a special kind of discount is being allowed to the buyer if he gives an advance of certain amount of rupees and he has paid that advance as provided in the question itself. Now, before coming here, before discussing the last point, let me make you a little more careful about the number of items. So if you notice, pen, keyboards, and optical mouse are 10 items each. However, printers are 5 items each. Please be careful. Otherwise, when calculation will make mistakes. In the examination hall, in order to complete the paper, we will not be having enough time. So we'll make some mistakes here and there. So just be careful about that. So 5 printers are there. 5 into 6,000, that is 30,000 is the price. Now, there are so many rates, 8%, 12%, 12%, 28%. What should be the final GST rate? Can somebody tell?
The highest one, 28%.
Highest
Why the highest one?
mixed supply.
Yes. So that's the
So it is
concept.
applicable.
So here is a question based on the mixed supply concept. So here, as you can see, we had 2 types of supplies, a composite supply and mixed supply. Composite supply is where you would having a principal item and others will be auxiliary or ancillary in support of the original item. Here, however, if you look at it, laptop can be sold, pen drives can be sold separately. Doesn't necessarily have to be together. So now that we are clubbing all of them together, that becomes a mixed supply. And the rule of mixed supply says the rate of tax that will be applicable on that particular transaction will be the highest tax rate applicable to any of those items. Now, what happens in composite supply? Can somebody tell? What will be the rate of tax?
Principal tax rate will be.
Yes, the tax rate of applicable on the principal item. So the whole transaction takes the characteristics of the principal item as it is the most important one. So the rate applicable on the principal item becomes the tax rate for a composite supply. For a mixed supply, however, it is the highest one. Here, highest one is 28%. So accordingly, we will take 28%. Now let's come to the, please. Yeah.
Hi there. Yeah. Could you please explain with an example regarding the principal tax? Is it like individual tax is going to get applicable for each item? Like for example, if you take 10 pen drives multiplied by 500, so it is 5,000 multiplied by 8%. Is my understanding correct on this?
If
For
you are
composite,
selling, if you are selling the items separately, no, that what you just said will be done.
Okay. So if
If
I'm
those are-
clubbing it,
Yeah, if one customer is there, he is taking all these items together, and most importantly, one invoice is there for that whole transaction. In one invoice, all the items are written, right? That becomes a composite supply. Sorry, mixed supply.
a mixed supply. Okay.
Yes.
Composite supply means individual. If
Yes.
any other customer is coming with demand,
Yes.
like I need only 10 pen drives,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the individual percentage.
So
Got it.
intelligent buyer, what he'll do is he'll
Hmm.
collect all the items and tell, I need invoice for each item separately, so that he does not have to pay 28% on every item.
Hmm.
Make sense?
Got it. Yeah.
So any other questions, please?
So you said 28% on every item. Why he's paying 28% on every item? When he's mixed supply, right? Only one
Yes.
rate is going to apply 28%, right? Highest one.
Correct.
It is on total, right? It is on total, not on
Yeah,
individual product.
Correct. Imagine this. What is happening at the end of the day? Whatever transaction price that you get, yeah, on that you are applying 28%, isn't it?
Hmm.
On laptop, 28%, pen drives, 28%, keyboards, 28%, optical mouse, 28%. Am I right?
Correct.
So, however,
Unless you have,
actual rate applicable is 18, 8, 12, and 12. Unnecessary, we are paying extra. Yes.
This is something
So,
very really good strategy for the seller.
yeah.
Okay.
So if we would ask them to make different invoices, so the rates actually will be different. So we can analyze it that way.
Got it.
It is not so straightforward if you go to the actual rates. These are just examples. Yeah. So those require little bit of deep analysis, little bit deeper analysis. So, but the logic remains same. So for mixed supply, the highest rate. So accordingly, we will take a call. Now,
Got it.
Quickly moving to the last point, special discount. Let me give you an example. Okay. Suppose me and you are the supplier and buyer. Okay. Now we want to save tax. Suppose I sold you one laptop, yeah, and the laptop is worth 1 lakh. So on that laptop 1 lakh, I have to collect 18%, suppose for example, tax, which comes to 18,000. So you will have to pay 1,18,000 as a buyer, right? Everybody gets the point? Example clear, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now,
I think Dheeraj, I lost. Could you
Okay.
please repeat once?
Yes. So what I'm saying is, I'm the supplier, you are the buyer. I'm selling you one laptop worth 1 lakh. Suppose GST rate applicable is 18%. That means 18,000 on 1 lakh, additional 18,000 I will collect from you and deposit to government, which comes to 1 lakh 18,000. Yes, total.
Correct.
You
Invoice
and me are
price.
good friends. You and me are good friends. What we did is, let's do one thing. Let's decrease the transaction price. How will you decrease the transaction price? I will give you a discount. What I told you is, I'll give you a discount. How much discount? 90,000 discount. Only 10,000 price. Only 10,000 price. So on 10,000, 18%
180.
comes to how much? 1,800 only. So 18,000, 1,800. How much of tax we have saved? 16,000.
How come 18? Yeah, okay, got it.
Because
16.
I give you discount, right? You just paid me 10,000, and that is just in books. Okay, you paid me 1 lakh. You paid me 1 lakh, but on books I have given you a discount of 90,000. Now tell me this is wrong, right? This should not happen.
It's a fraud,
So,
like
which is why, yes, which is why, in order to safeguard the government, the tax GST law has one provision. What it says is, any type of special discount, if it has been allowed, we will reverse it back. I'll repeat that. Any type of special discount, if you have allowed to the buyer, we will reverse it back. We are not going to allow the special discounts. So any
means
type of
he can't claim it. He can't claim it, right? The
No,
1,800.
claiming is a different thing. Claiming, we are not claiming here as of now, right? Here there is no income expense. So claiming is not of the question. I think what you're saying, I get the logic, but the word that you're using is not applicable here. So it makes sense what you're trying to say. So basically, what will happen is, suppose I will declare to the government that I have sold an asset for 10,000 only. But what the government will say, no, we will apply the transaction price. We will consider the transaction price to be 1 lakh only. Why 1 lakh? 10,000 your transaction price plus the discount that you have given, that is 90,000, comes to 1 lakh. Make sense?
Mhm.
Any questions, please?
No, clear.
So
So
similarly,
just to prevent fraud, they had done this
yes,
kind of provision.
yes. Similarly, here in the fifth point, if you notice, special discount of 2000 for each laptop is given if the advance of this much and the advance is actually provided, which is why we will add back the discount, which becomes 2000 for each laptop comes to 20,000 rupees. Yeah, so they were saving, they were trying to save tax on 20,000. We are now adding it back, basically. If no other doubts in this, let me just quickly move to the calculations. So we had already reached to the 254 to 37, which is the cost of the laptop before tax. Yeah. Then we are adding, if you notice, 5,000 for the laptop transportation, packing of the transportation for the transportation. So as I said earlier, it is not written as for each laptop. So the actual figure we are taking, we are not multiplying 10 here. Same for 2,000, which is transport charges. Same for commission paid of 6,000. However, for additional features, 1,000 into 10 comes to 10,000 is added. And why we are adding all this, why we are doing all this, because the question itself says find the transaction value and the GST payable. So we are trying to find the transaction value first so that we can multiply 28% in order to calculate the GST payable. Now all these items are done. Then we are moving to the pen drives. Pen drives are 10 pen drives over there. So 500 is 500 into 10, that comes to 5,000. Similarly, keyboards 300 into 10 comes to 3,000. Similarly, 250 into 10, 2,500 for the optical mouse. And be careful again, 6,000 into 5, not 10, because 5 printers were there, so 30,000. Now, as I said, the concept special discount will be added back. 2,000 into 10 comes to 20,000 is the discount that is being added back, which gives us the transaction value of 3,37,737. On that, we apply the tax rate of 28%, which gives us our GST or payable of 94,566. Any questions, please? Okay, now if no questions, here is a, give me 1 second, let me just hide the solution. Okay, now here is a question for you. So let me just repeat. Now here in the example, there are 12 laptops. The first item laptop is IGST rate of 10% instead of 18. Price is 40,000. Now packing is 6,000. Transport charges is 4,000. Commission is 8,000. Additional features is 2,000. There are 12 pen drives of 1,000 each, and the GST rate applicable is 10%. 12 keyboards, 600 each, GST rate is 5%. 12 optical mouse, 500 each, 12% GST rate. 6 printers, 8,000 rupees each, GST rate is 18%, not 20, 18%. Now the special discount is 5,000 for each laptop if the advance is 2 lakhs or more. Can you please quickly calculate and tell me what are the answers? So you have to tell me the transaction value and the GST payable. So I'll just quickly share this question in the group. Please refer there so that I can do some work here.
Dheeraj, is it GST is 103278?
GST 103278. What is your transaction value?
573771.
No, that is incorrect. What is the, what do you say? 1 second.
Is it 40,000 multiplied by 12 divided by 112? So I'll get like excluding
GST,
IGST.
yeah. How much?
So 4285.7.
No, that is
Sorry,
incorrect.
sorry. No. 40,000 multiplied by 12 divided by 112, which will be equal to 4285.7, right?
No. 40,000 divided by what you did? 40,000 divided by
40,000 multiplied by 12 divided by 112.
12 by 112. Why?
No, it's because 12 laptops, right?
No. That is incorrect calculation.
If
That
the
is incorrect
transaction value
calculation.
is 58,009, oh sorry, 5,89,568.
5,89,000 is incorrect. No.
So Dheeraj,
Yeah,
611,563 is the
that is correct.
taxable.
Yes, absolutely. 611,563 is the correct answer.
110081.45 is the tax.
Yes. Let me just share the solution. Give me 1 second, guys, so that you can verify very quickly where you have made the mistake. So
I think the first step only we are making mistakes. Sir.
okay, no problem. So here is the answer. Yeah. So if you remember, what I told was, wherever you have this concept of gross calculation, right, reciprocal calculation. So what you need to do is that amount that is provided, that is the cell's final amount, divided by 1 plus the rate. Simply do that. That amount divided by 1 plus the rate. Here the amount is how much? 40,000. Yes.
Yes, correct.
Divided by 1 plus rate is how much? 10%, right?
10%. Where it is 10%? Oh,
I
okay.
told no 10%, no?
Okay.
GST is 10%. 12 is the number of laptops. So that's what you got confused, I think, there only.
Yeah,
You have
that
taken
is what
12
incorrect. Remaining all is correct.
Yeah. So 36,363 is the final value.
Could you please tell this once again, Dheeraj? I think I'm not clear on this first step only. The 40,000.
Okay. Very simple. Okay, just remember this. When you want to calculate the reciprocal one, as in you want to exclude the GST, you have the final gross amount. Simply take gross amount, divide 1 plus the rate provided.
1 plus the rate provided. Okay.
Here, as you can see,
It is
40,000.
Sami, it is like this. 40,000 is equal to 110. So how much will be 100? I think that is what is the calculation.
Correct.
So cross multiplication, if you do, it comes to like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So, any questions, please?
In my
Please.
case, I forgot for that one. The additional features for each laptop, I just calculated as 2,000. I forgot to multiply it by 12.
See, simple question. Okay, we just solved. Still, we make mistakes, and that is fine.
Yeah.
That is supposed to happen. So that's what we have to take care, so that we would not repeat the mistakes in the examination. So, if you want, I can give you more iterations of this type of question, so that you can solve by yourself also. So we'll see how it goes. Everybody got the answer? Any questions, please? Otherwise, we'll move to the next question quickly.
We'll move to the next one.
Okay, perfect. So here is the next question. Now, before we start the question, let me remind you of the concept, because it is going to be there in this question. When we have output liability for IGST and input credit we have of IGST, we can adjust those. Suppose we have output liability of IGST, now I'm talking about the second one, and we have input credit of CGST, we can adjust it. However, when we have output liability of IGST, but input credit of SGST, we cannot adjust it. Now, the fourth one is when we have output liability of CGST or SGST and input credit is IGST, it can be adjusted. The only rule is first we adjust CGST, in a balance if left, then only SGST. Everybody remembers the concept we have discussed in detail in the last discussion? Yes?
Yes, Dheeraj. I'm clear.
Now, quickly moving to the question. Arati, a registered dealer, had input tax credit for CGST and SGST of 750 rupees and 1050 rupees. So there is input credit. Input credit is what? CGST and SGST. Which category is it falling in? The last one. Yes, the last one. Everybody agrees? Yeah. So respectively, in respect of purchase of inputs and capital goods, he manufactured 1800 liters of finished products. 200 liters was normal loss in the process. This information of normal loss is irrelevant, not of any use for calculation of anything related to GST. The final product was sold at uniform price of 10 rupees per liter. So there was 1800 liters, and now they have given a selling price of 10 rupees per liter. Goods sold within state is 800 liters. Finished product sold in interstate sale is 650 liters. Goods sent on stock transfer to consignment agents outside the state is 350 liters. Here you have three transactions. One is within state, one is interstate, third is stock transfer outside state. The first one, CGST and SGST will apply. Second and third, in both the cases, IGST will apply. If the CGST and SGST rate on the finished product of the dealer is 5% and 7% respectively, that means CGST is 5%, SGST is 7%. Further, IGST rate is 12%. Calculate the tax liability of SGST and CGST to be paid after tax credit. So after you deduct all the available credits, how much is the final CGST and SGST you have to pay? Make sense? Yes? Or IGST, as the case may be. Now let's quickly move to simple calculation of tax. Sorry, what is the output liability? What is the output liability? How do we calculate? We know that within state sale is 800 liters, interstate is 650, stock transfer is 350. We have per liter price, which is 10 rupees. Simply multiply, that will give us the transaction price. So 8,000 within state, interstate is 6,500, stock transfer is 3,500. Now on all of these, we will apply the tax rates as given. Now 8,000 is within state, so CGST and SGST apply. Yes, so CGST and SGST, the transaction value is 8,000. Your tax rate is 5% and 7% as provided in the question. Simply multiply, we have the tax rate of 400 and 560. So the balance, that is 6,500 of interstate and stock transfer of 3,500, on both of these, actually the IGST applies. The total comes to 10,000. Yes, 10,000. 6,500 plus 3,500 comes to 10,000, on which IGST rate of 12% will apply, and IGST comes to 1,200 rupees. Now this is what we calculated. This is the final liability, not final liability, my bad. That is the output liability that we have calculated on the transaction price. Now we will deduct the available credits with us. What are the credits available with us? 750 and 1,050. That is given in the first line itself. Here it is, 750 and 1,050. The question is, now let's come to the calculation very quickly. We have CGST is there. CGST credit is how much? 750.
150.
So out of CGST credit, 400 will be utilized for the CGST liability, obviously. See, here are the exceptions we have talked about. Yes, exceptions. Normal ones will be CGST liability, CGST credit. Obviously, those will be okay. So I have not mentioned that. Please do not get confused. SGST output liability, SGST is the credit. Obviously, okay. Same category will always be allowed. Okay. So IGST, similarly, IGST, okay. So first will be that only. So out of 750 of credit, 400 goes for the CGST liability. Yes. What is the balance left? 350. Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Can that be allowed for IGST?
Yes.
Yeah, the fourth scenario.
No.
Second scenario.
Yes, fourth.
Fourth scenario, right? See,
Yes,
in output is our CGST, input is IGST.
No, my
No, no,
apologies.
no.
Scenario.
Scenario.
That is
No, no.
actually second scenario. Second scenario.
Second
Yeah.
scenario. Yeah.
Second scenario. So 350 balance 350 goes to IGST. So that goes to deducting IGST. Let's quickly move to the SGST now. SGST was 1050. SGST liability is how much? 560. Obviously, out of the 1050, 560 is adjusted here. 560 is adjusted here. What is the balance amount? 490. Should we adjust it in IGST?
No,
No.
it carry forward.
We have discussed this many times now. We have discussed this many times. It will not be adjusted. It will be carried for the next cycle, month, year, as the case may be. Now one
And it will be
question.
carried forward only for SGST, right? It is not carried forward for IGST. It will carry forward for SGST.
Same rule applies in the next cycle also. Same rule as we discussed here. No. Same rule applies next time also. Next cycle, if we have SGST liability, we can adjust it. If we don't have SGST liability, we cannot adjust it. Make sense? Yeah. So
Dheeraj, one quick check. I see row number 118.
yeah,
We had part 350 against CGST.
correct. No. CGST 350 is against IGST.
Okay, but left hand side it is showing CGST, right?
Yeah, CGST credit, no? This is CGST credit. These are liability.
Okay, output.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is output
So could
liability.
you please explain this once again? I think here only there's confusion arises for many people.
Okay. So this is CGST credit, okay? Please don't get confused. This is SGST credit. So these are what? CGST liability. Similarly, SGST liability.
We need to pay to the government, right? The liability means the dealer is liable to pay to the government.
Yes, that is correct. So now liability we have calculated in the rates provided in the question as 400, 560 and 1200. Yes, agrees? Now CGST credit, how much was available with us? 750.
Opening balance.
Yes. First we utilize against CGST liability of 400. Yes.
Correct.
Balance left how much? 350. Yes.
Is it the same thing like are we referring that table which you had shown, like output is my CGST, the fourth scenario, but my input is IGST?
Now, are you talking about this one or this one?
Left hand side, the first column
Left-hand
D.
side is this one.
And I
Look,
think
okay.
Samir,
Left-hand side.
Dheeraj, rather than CGST credit, you say input credit.
Yeah,
CGST input credit is 750, out of which 400 here, 3. That's how he has distributed.
Yeah, this makes clarity. Yeah.
So
Okay.
CGST input credit is 400. As you can see, CGST is liability, CGST is the input credit. So this is the scenario. Obviously, that is okay to adjust. So 400 is 400.
A minus B. Output minus input, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Sami, what you can also do is you can create one more column, CGST input credit, write 750 and then you say 400, 350 that way. If it has to be clear. I think that will make it absolutely clear.